Evolution is a fairy tale for grown-ups. He says, the theory has helped nothing in the progress of science. This is a different kind of sermon. I'm going to be quoting a lot of scientists today. I know for some of you who are mature Christians, I know that may bug you a little bit. You say, well, Jim, all I need is the Word of God. I understand that. But I'm doing this, I'm laying the groundwork for the benefit of the immature Christian or the unbeliever who happens to be sitting in this church. I'm laying this groundwork for them. They need to hear what eminent, prominent scientists are saying and writing. You need to hear it. You're not going to hear it in the media. You're probably never going to hear it in the university. They have their own agenda there. And you say, well, Jim, you've got an agenda too. Yes, I do. It's the truth. I have an agenda to share the truth with the people God has entrusted to me. So I'll be quoting a lot of scientists tonight. So just please bear with me. This is almost going to be like a lecture back at university. So please bear with me. Please. Very, very briefly, let me just go through some of the scientific disciplines that are beginning to argue for a sudden creation event. Okay? First, paleontology, the study of fossils. The fossil record is a huge problem for Darwinists. It does not reveal the gradualism necessary to support Darwin's model. There are no intermediate transitionary forms in the fossil record. The ones that have allegedly been found in the past have been found to be somewhat fraudulent. In fact, the fossil record reflects a sudden explosion of fully formed and diverse body types. It's called the Cambrian explosion. Harvard geologist Stephen Jay Gould calls this the trade secret of paleontology. We don't tell the public. We don't really understand or see any evidence for macro-Darwinism. That's not what we tell the media. That's not what we tell the public. That's not what we tell men and women at the university. Niles Eldridge is a paleontologist. He says this: we have said that macroevolution is supported in the fossil record, all the while knowing that it is not. I'm quoting scientists, okay? Don't take my word for it. You go do your own reading. You go do your own reading. And you study for yourself. Second, cosmology, the study of the origins of the universe. This universally accepted argument that the universe had a beginning. It's called, in scientific parlance, it's called the Big Bang. The universe had a beginning. It's not eternal. It's not static. Darwinists love to make the point, or they try to allege that it's eternal. They can't do it anymore. Big Bang cosmology has refuted that. So they're doing a lot of other goofy things to get around that. You'll have to read on that for yourself. But this cosmology is supported by Einstein's theory of relativity and the Big Bang hypothesis. It is a severe blow to the Darwinists. Number 3, physics and astronomy. I love this. The fine-tuning aspect of the earth. It's called the anthropic principle. The just-so conditions needed for you and I to survive on this planet. The precision in the physics from gravity, the energy density of space, the electromagnetic force, the nuclear force, etc., 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 the carbon cycle, the oxygen cycle, the nitrogen cycle, the phosphorus cycle, etc., 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 to the proximity of the earth to the sun and the moon, argues for design. It argues for that. The fine-tuning is astonishing. Fourthly, the biochemistry. Some of you know this. The irreducible complexity at the molecular level. Darwin actually said this in his Origin of the Species, and I agree with Darwin on this one. He's exactly right. Darwin says, if it can be demonstrated that any complex organism existed which could not possibly have been formed by numerous successive slight modifications, my theory would absolutely break down. Brothers and sisters, it has been scientifically demonstrated. Evolution's a fairy tale. Macroevolution. Someone's calling me. They've heard about the sermon. They want to know what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to talk to them. I'm going to hang up on them.
Call Mom back later.
Fifth, genetics. The stunning evidence of molecular genetics. The staggering amount of biological information embedded in every cell. DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. Darwinists cannot begin to explain where all the information came from. Matter and energy does not give rise to information. Information transcends matter and energy. The single cell is proclaiming the glory of the Creator God. Number 6, mathematics. In relation to the complexity that permeates all of creation down to the single cell. The simple laws of mathematical probability rule out the possibility of such complexity and function coming into being by random chance. You're going to love this, I think. The probabilities of one short functional protein molecule coming into existence randomly is one chance in 100,000 trillion, 10 with 125 zeros behind it, beloved. That's just one molecule. That's just one molecule, not to mention bumblebees and badgers and galaxies and complex ecosystems. That's one cell. To extrapolate these kinds of odds to highly organized, complex, and functional life forms on the earth, as one scientist says, is to invoke a naturalistic miracle. Not only is it something from nothing, which is logically and rationally impossible, it's an amazingly complex, synergistic, functional, and interdependent biological or environmental system. I'm not exaggerating when I say this. It takes a larger faith statement to be a macro-Darwinist than it does to be a Christian. You have to believe, if you're a macro-Darwinist, you have to believe that no one plus nothing equals everything. That's what you believe. If you are a strict Darwinian, that's a larger faith statement than in the beginning an awesome God created it all. And He upholds it all by the power of His Word. Some of you might be legitimately asking me, well, why is this? If this is true, Jim, if what you're saying is true, why is it not taught? That's a great question. You should go ask your administrators at your school and at the university. That's a great question. You should go ask them that. But we know, if any of us have done much reading, that there is a naturalistic and materialistic bias in modern science. Stephen Meyer is right. Science done right points to God, and it inevitably yields up theological implications. Obviously, this is a great inconvenience to the atheist, the naturalist, and the materialist. And I'm just going to give you some quotes. I think this will be interesting for you. I'm going to give you some quotes from scientists about their stand on some of these things. For example, the Big Bang hypothesis, which actually demonstrates that there was a beginning. This is a huge problem for Darwinists. If there was a beginning, how did the beginning begin? How did the beginning begin? Atheist Kai Nielsen said this: suppose you suddenly hear a loud bang, and you ask me, what made that bang? And I replied, nothing. It just happened. You would not accept that answer, would you? And yet billions of people on the planet accept it because they don't logically and rationally question it, and they don't read for themselves. They are sheep who simply believe what the media tells them and what academia tells them. They don't read and study and learn on their own. So you can see the macro-Darwinist problem here. And listen